LEGO Harry Potter has updated its Hogwarts castle system once again, but what exactly does this mean for the future of the theme? Ooh, that rhymed. In March of 2024, there were 3 sets that released a part of this new Hogwarts castle lineup. We had the Boathouse, the Owlery, and Hagrid's Hut, and while Hagrid's Hut doesn't exactly feature in the back of the instruction manual as building the most detailed Hogwarts ever, it is actually included on the website in a lot of the promotional imagery in regards to building this big Hogwarts. When it comes to LEGO Harry Potter, my favorite Hogwarts castle system that they have done by far is 2018 to 2020. Each of the models was incredibly detailed and represented an entire section of the castle. They all had some pretty neat interiors with a couple of references and had a fantastic minifigure selection, and this whole new setup reminds me a lot of that. Now, the way that it worked back then is that all of the castles could connect to one another using a bunch of Technic axle points, similar to how the 2010 and 2011 Hogwarts castles worked. Each of them would have points and connectors at the exact same spot, so you could click them all side by side, but even then you could just place them next to one another and it felt like it worked really, really well. It was also the first Hogwarts castle system to have grey roofs, and we've really reverted back to that with this new wave, and I am really, really excited. Overall, there was a couple of changes that were made to the overall Hogwarts castle systems. For example, there are no Technic pins on any of these models anywhere. However, at least on the Boathouse, there are a couple of connectors, but I'll touch on that later. But despite not having connectors, these sets match that style of Hogwarts castle system really, really nicely. But with this new system sets being from completely different areas of the castle and nothing really matching, it has left a lot of people, including myself, wondering what exactly is to come. There have been very few teasers, with the only thing being a quote saying the most detailed Hogwarts castle ever, but I feel like that could be quite broad and really just a marketing tactic. However, just judging by the looks of these sets, I feel like LEGO is also very spot on with that phrase. Currently, it's alleged that there are going to be 2 expansion sets coming in the summer wave of Harry Potter, including a Great Hall set as well as a Potions Classroom set. Now, the Great Hall is the obvious one to me that stands out as a really clear connecting point. And in fact, when I built the Boathouse and had a close look at it, there were 2 really small clip pieces at the back, and just given that the Boathouse is very closely attached to the Great Hall, to me this just screams combining. I doubt that they're going to sell stairs separately, so to me that just makes absolute sense. When there was first rumors about a Hogwarts Great Hall, I very much expected it to be a modern remake of this 2018 castle and have the Great Hall and have the Grand Tower next to it and really kind of flow on, and then have the Boathouse attached to it out the front. However, recently there have been a couple more rumors that allege that that might not actually be the case. But putting these 2 sets side by side, I feel like it gives you a really good idea of what this castle system could actually look like. The Boathouse is definitely completely out of scale, but it makes me really excited to see what exactly LEGO has up their sleeves, and also at what scale we're doing this at. Now, the rumored Great Hall set is going to be significantly more expensive than this set ever was. And given the scale of the Boathouse, I feel like that is definitely going to be needed to make this thing look somewhat correct. Even though it is a place set, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be completely to scale, but I feel like LEGO is going to get really close. And rather than having this big tower, at least at this point, it very much sounds like we are just going to be getting the Great Hall itself, as well as a couple little extras surrounding it. The Great Hall set is rumored to feature the courtyard out the front of the Great Hall, which I believe is definitely going to be the aspect that connects onto this Boathouse. It's also rumored to feature some of the Hogwarts dungeons, including the Hufflepuff Common Room, which I think is really cool, and a variety of different corridors, hallways, and even a bathroom. And hearing this, it makes way more sense to why the Great Hall would just be the hall itself. I feel like you wouldn't be able to fit all of that in and still have this tower, which then opens up a lot of potentials for different tower expansions that we could get later on. But when I read the description of this set, there were a couple of things that popped into mind. Firstly, I feel like one of those rooms has to be the Hogwarts kitchens. That is something that we have never had featured in a set, and for it to kind of exist underneath the hall itself makes absolute sense to me. The bathroom is also supposed to represent the Troll and the Loose sequence of the Philosopher's Stone, which I think is really cool. And then when it comes to the rooms, reportedly they can actually pull out of the set, which is really interesting because there is also a rumored Potions class set, which makes so much sense to me because if they're doing these sets in this type of style, the Potions classroom would have to feature some sort of underground dungeon-esque type of thing. When it comes to the minifigures, there is reportedly a very stacked lineup, including Harry, Ron, Hermione, Professor Quirrell, a bunch of students, Professor Sinestra, a ghost, and what I'm most excited for personally is the rumored Big Fig Troll. Now, I assume that this is going to be very much the style of like the recent Thanos and the recent Hulk, where the head is like that entire giant minifigure head type of thing and can be popped off and rotated. I'm really excited to see how that turns out, and in terms of a set description, that makes me really excited. Now, the Owlery in general general is a set that just kind of stands on its own outside of the school grounds. So I don't really expect anything to ever connect to this, let alone be in scale of this, but I feel like the Owlry is a really good example for how tall the rest of this Hogwarts castle system could look. Reading the rumors for the potions class set, it is reportedly supposed to be the same size as one of the rooms in the Great Hall, which again leads me to think that maybe they can be swapped out. Maybe that's how they combine. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be able to combine it somehow, because I feel like it would be really weird to have a first year's worth of Hogwarts castle sets a part of this new wave and only have two of them actually connect to each other. The minifigures reportedly in that set are Snape, Hermione, Pansy Parkinson, and Seamus Finnegan, and I'm really thinking that they are going to be short legs, first two movies type of thing, rather than later on, and kind of mixing it up a little bit just because of the fact that Slughorn's not included. But when I look at this current lineup of sets, I get really excited for thinking about what other options we can have if we really are going to go down the route of doing the most detailed Hogwarts castle ever. I feel like there is a lot of potential. Firstly, I would like to see some sort of tower build that incorporates the Ravenclaw common room, the Gryffindor common room, and potentially even Dumbledore's office, and see them really go all out with the common rooms. We've never had that done before. We've had them pop up in the form of banners or really small interiors, and I feel like the Great Hall is going to give us a really good glimpse into what that could potentially look like. Alongside of that, we could potentially get another Dungeon Slytherin common room type of set. I think that would be really cool, and I would love to see them remake the Astronomy Tower and the Clock Tower as well. When it comes to smaller sets, I feel like some of the classrooms would be a really good fit. I would love to see a Greenhouse Chamber of Secrets Herbology individual set, but most importantly, I would love to see a fully fleshed out Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom and have it featured around the Boggart sequence from The Prisoner of Azkaban. This is so overdue. We have not had a proper Boggart cabinet build ever, because it was just a printed or stickered tile in the first one. I would really love to see that have an appearance again, and also have like some sort of mini skeleton dragon hanging from the ceiling of that set, just like in the actual classroom itself. But one of the most important aspects that I feel like the Hogwarts system should probably do is a fully fledged Quidditch pit, because we've already had Hagrid's hut, which sits on the grounds on the side. Then we've had the Owlry that is quite a similar type of thing. It just sits on the side of the grounds. I would love for them to do the Quidditch pit so we have every single aspect of Hogwarts all covered within the same system. Alongside having this really nice Hogwarts castle system, Harry Potter seems to be continuing the trend of adding a different Diagon Alley building each wave. So last year we had this small individual Weasley's Wizard Wheezers set, and honestly it was really good. I ended up really liking the set. There were a lot of elements to that build that weren't featured in the larger direct-to-consumer set, but if you're like me, it did feel weird buying this entire new Weasley's Wizard Wheezers building when I already had one. Rumored this year we should be getting an Ollivanders and Mud and Malkin set, which I think is going to be really fun, and that also makes me question how many Hogwarts castle sets we're going to get each year, because if they're going to keep doing a new Diagon Alley building each year, that set is going to take up around the $100 price slot, meaning that we're probably going to have like one big Hogwarts castle section or either a lot of really small Hogwarts castle sections. There is also rumored to be an upcoming Aragog set, which reportedly is supposed to connect with the Forbidden Forest Magical Creatures set, so it seems like a lot of these sets are built with the kind of combination and collect them all mentality in mind. Overall though, I really like the direction Harry Potter is going. You've really got to take yourself out of that I need to collect them all mindset though, because these sets can stand individually on their own and still look fantastic. It's been a lot of fun sitting and theorizing and reading up on the rumors and seeing exactly how this system might come together. I think it's going to look absolutely fantastic, and I also love the fact that, like Diagon Alley, I can just buy one piece each year and a little bit at a time, rather than buying these giant sets to get everything all at once. I really hope though that this whole system lasts more than 4 years before they reset it again. I have no doubt in my mind that in a couple years time they'll probably reset the system again. You know, it just happens, but I really hope that this one has quite a lot of longevity to it, because I think the potential is just going to be unmatched. For anyone who was wondering what this previous system looks like with this newest set, it looks fantastic, and this is the first time I put them together, and I absolutely love it. But outside of this set, this is the current Hogwarts lineup for the upcoming wave that they are doing. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Are you planning on investing in this new system, or are you just going to stick with your old ones? And also let me know what sets you'd like to see down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and until next time, I'll see you later.